You've worked hard to earn and save. Now it's time to make your money work hard for you. This is Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida of A Better Way Financial.
And I'm Heather Branch here with Frank and Frankie, asking for their insight on ways you can better prepare for your financial future. At A Better Way Financial, they've been helping folks across the Lehigh Valley for over 2 decades and are here to help you as well. So let's get to work on your plan. You can find us anytime at abetterwayfinancial.com. Or as you're listening today, if you have a question, you can give us a call, 610-440-3722, or again online, it's abetterwayfinancial.com. Fellas, starting with a little bit of a somber tone in this conversation today, the images that have been coming out of California, if for anybody listening right now, if you have friends or family in California, praying for them, hoping everybody is okay, that you might know, because, I mean, it's unbelievable what we're seeing happening.
You wouldn't believe in today's day and age that you could have fires that go through, whole towns and cities like that. It's insane. I mean, you hear about forest fires and things like that, and you're like, oh, okay, there's no fire hydrants and stuff in forests. But these poor people, they have fire hydrants with no water in them.
That's it. There's definitely going to be a lot of questions. There are already questions being asked. And the good news is they have started making a lot of progress. Shout out to anybody who is on a fire department now or has ever been a firefighter of any kind. Hats off to you, because the hard work these men and women have been doing fighting these fires that have taken lives, have taken the homes of thousands of people. Of course, as I was saying, questions to be asked and answered, but on a personal level for a lot of folks that have done the hard work, creating financial plans, insurance companies are facing now billions of dollars in claims. And it's not the first time that we've seen a costly disaster like this. And so for somebody who has perhaps bought an annuity from an insurance company, they might be thinking to themselves, what if my annuity company now has to pay out on one of these massive claims that we have seen? In that circumstance, should that person be worried?
Here's the thing that, I've discovered through the years. All of these major big companies, most of them, they're not one company. They're like Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies, Prudential and affiliated. Most of these companies, they have a parent company, but they all are basically separate. They have their life company, they have their property and casualty company, so they have different divisions of insurance and stuff that they have different companies for. And these companies are pretty much individual. And then even when you look at annuities themselves and life insurance and that type of thing, these products themselves have separate ways in which they are funded themselves, and they have separate ways in which the premiums are invested and separate ways in which these lines of insurance are protected.
Okay.
So if you have like an individual annuity or insurance product, that's going to be a separate type of entity in most cases. So if something happens to the property and casualty type insurance company, it won't affect you as if you were lumped into the property and casualty side, because they're typically separate entities there.
Okay.
And the way that these, insurance companies work is they'll have that life insurance division. So if you have a life insurance policy, they have funds allocated for that life insurance division. They'll have an annuity division. So if you have an annuity with that company, they'll have those policies are going to be taken care of with the funding from those areas. It's not like they're cross-funding a lot of it most of the time.
Okay.
So it is something
they
that
shouldn't be anyway, and that's a whole other radio program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And annuities really historically have been about as safe a guarantee as you can get out there.
Right. Nothing's 100%. I think that's the bottom line for in any part of life. There's only guarantees in life, or death and taxes, right?
That is true. And when it comes to the annuities, what we're using them for is for safety.
Right.
When we look out there at what most financial advisors use, they use, stocks and then to try to curb some of that risk, what they're using is bonds. What's the problem with bonds, Frankie?
Well, they're not guaranteed.
No.
They can go up or down in value depending on interest rates.
And they do. Look at 2022. I mean, my goodness, the bond market went down 15%. The stock market went down 20%. So if people were looking for a relief from the stock market going down, they didn't get it from bonds.
Yeah.
But our clients sure got it, didn't they, Frankie?
Well, yeah, because they weren't invested in bonds. The way that we had the portfolio structured, we had it so that they had the portion that they felt comfortable having in the market and the portion that they did not want to have at risk. We didn't put them in bonds. We put them in an investment that wouldn't go down even if the interest rates went up. So the way that we had the overall portfolio structured, everybody was in a position that they were within their own risk tolerance. And that's one of the things that's really important when you do financial planning is you find out how important is risk to somebody. Is somebody in a position where they might have, endured 2008 and they felt, I don't really want to have so much money invested in the stock market. Or you might have been with somebody who understands the way that the markets go and they're okay with taking more risks. So it's really a case-by-case basis to really understand the person that you're working with to make sure that they never lose more money than they feel comfortable with. So if you have an investment portfolio and you don't know what risk you're taking within your current portfolio or what different investment options you have, you need to give us a call for a portfolio x-ray where we're going to be able to show you exactly what's going on within that current portfolio. What is the risk associated with it? What are the returns that are associated with it? And give you some other options as well as far as potentially being able to lower your risk or align it to your personal risk tolerance and get maybe some different returns than what you have been getting. So let's look into those options for you. If you save $500,000 or more and you're 55 or older, give us a call for your complimentary portfolio x-ray right now. That number to dial is 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722. Available now for the next 5 callers. So give us a ring, 610-440-3722.
And we have clients that come in all the time that, many of them are very conservative folks and they're trying not to lose money. And some of them, the way they have their portfolio put together is a problem because it's not going to keep up with inflation. Some folks, they have their money, a good portion of in the bank. We had this one couple that came in. They had been listening to our radio shows for quite a while, and they finally said, you know what, let's go in and, we know we're very conservative. We know these guys seem to know what they're talking about. Let's see what they have to say about our portfolio. And they came in and we looked at their portfolio. And it was a very, very low-risk portfolio. 68% of it was in cash.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they were averaging a return of less than 2% on their portfolio. This was a problem because when you do that and you're falling behind inflation, you're definitely going to have a big problem. So what did we do? We talked to them. We said, look, it's important to get a better return. So we showed them what a moderate risk portfolio would look like. And, we talked to them about the stock market and the history of the stock market and how, yes, it does have these periods where the market goes down and has periods where it goes up. But overall, it's averaged the highest rates of return. The thing is, in your retirement years, you need to protect yourself from when the markets go down. Because if they go down and you draw your income, if you have all your money in the stock market, if you draw your income from there, well, then you're going to be selling low. And that's not what you want to do. So you want to have a portion of your portfolio in something that's safe, that doesn't go down, but still averages a great rate of return. We use fixed index annuities for this, which, historically they've averaged a significantly better return than cash in the bank and that type of thing. And what it was able to do was we were able to show them, look, if you had the portfolio you had now from January 2000 till now, you would have averaged less than 2%. We showed them a portfolio, with the ups and downs in the market, part of it in the ups and downs in the market, part of it in the fixed indexed annuities, which don't go down when the markets go down, but do capture a nice part of the market, growth when the markets go up. And now we were able to take their average return and show them how that type of portfolio would have averaged them over 8%.
Yeah, so the way that we set up their portfolio was able to make a huge difference for them over the course of their retirement. And they had about a $1.5 million portfolio saved. So they did a great job saving, and they just wanted some help investing to make sure that they're getting the best rate of return within their personal risk tolerance. They didn't want to take all the risk of the stock market with their full portfolio. They wanted to have some safety within that portfolio. So we showed them how to set up their portfolio to be able to get the income that they were looking for. And with their current portfolio, they could get the $70,000 of income that they needed over the course of their retirement. And they had a very strong probability of success. They had about a 99% probability of success.
Nice.
And were projected to leave about $415,000 at the end of their plan after they passed away.
Okay.
With our recommendations, they still could get the $70,000 of income, but we were able to bump that up to 100% probability of success, and we're projected to leave about $4.3 million at the end of the plan because of the additional returns, the savings in taxes, and just the investment recommendations that we were able to provide for them. We said, is it a goal of yours to leave $4 million at the end of your plan? They're
right.
like, I don't have any goals to leave $4 million, but, maybe if we could spend more of it now and enjoy it now over the course of our lifetime, that's something we would be interested in.
Yeah.
And then we said, well, we already did the homework on that. We already looked into that. And with an extra $20,000 of income per year, you would still have a very strong probability of success. You're looking at a 90% probability of success and projected to leave close to $2 million at the end of the plan with an extra $20,000 of income coming in every single year.
Wow.
And when we looked at their current plan, they had a 0% probability of success with that extra $20,000 of income because their cash was not keeping pace with inflation. So it's really important that you're able to get the growth that you need to be able to cover that extra expense of inflation, that hidden expense that you don't really know about until it keeps on creeping up on you. So this is what we were able to do, show them what $20,000 more of income per year could look like. So if you want to learn what strategies you can use to make sure you're making the most out of your investment portfolio, you need to go to abetterwayfinancial.com and click on the Book a Time to Talk with Us button, and we can begin to have this conversation with you.
Thanks for listening to Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida. To learn more, visit abetterwayfinancial.com.
By contacting us, we'll review aspects of your retirement portfolio to include suggestions about how best to utilize estate, tax, and retirement planning strategies and other financial services, or if changing management styles is appropriate for your specific needs and objectives. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. A Better Way Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client, and they are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Advisory services offered through A Better Way Financial. Insurance offered through licensed professionals at A Better Way Financial. Pennsylvania Insurance License number 301779.